Welcome to the Women Who Hunt podcast, a space where we share real stories from the field, celebrate women in the outdoors, and inspire the next generation of hunters. From first-time adventures to lifelong pursuits, this is where passion and community meet. The Women Who Hunt podcast is proudly supported by Gun Traders Australia, Australia's trusted marketplace for hunters and shooters. Visit guntraders.com.au and be part of the community. And when it comes to protecting the outdoor lifestyle we all share, the Australian Recreation Union is the united voice for everyday Aussies who love shooting, fishing, four-wheel driving, camping, riding and fossicking. As access is chipped away by lockouts and over-regulation, the ARU stands up to protect land access, defend our rights and ensure these traditions continue for the next generation. Join the movement at australianrecreationunion.com. This isn't just another club, it's the line in the sand. Now, let's get into today's episode. Welcome back to another episode of Women Who Hunt. Today I'm chatting with hybrid athlete and podcast host Monique McCreanor. We're going to chat about what drives her, how she builds resilience, how that same mindset shows up when women push themselves in the outdoors, whether it's on the race course, at the range, or out in the field. Welcome, Monique. Thank you so much for being here, mate.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
So, for anyone who hasn't met you yet, how do you introduce yourself these days?
Oh, I definitely say that I'm a person who likes to do it all, especially in the fitness realm. I do a lot of different sports, which is why I identify as a hybrid athlete. So in the endurance space, the strength space, and now going into more of the tactical sports space. So that's a little bit who I am, I guess.
And when I was doing the lead up to getting you on this podcast, I did stalk you, and oh my goodness, some of the stuff you've done, it just blows my mind. So were you sporty as a kid, or did this come later in life? How did you become this superhuman that you are today?
Oh my gosh, I'm so flattered. I'd say, well, as a kid, I always tried everything, or I tried to try everything. So obviously had sport in school, and sometimes we were forced to play like rugby or do gymnastics and things. And even though I may have not really been good at those things, I still tried to participate and like actually give it a good crack. I wasn't even a runner growing up, to be honest. I remember tasting blood in my mouth doing school cross country, or like not even warming up on the school oval for our PE lessons and just tasting blood in my mouth and going, oh, I hate this so much. So it's a bit weird how now I'm running ultra marathons and enjoying running, and it's such a big part of my life. But yeah, and I did ballet growing up. That was probably like the big consistent sport in my life. I did that for 14 years and then started to try to get into the gym when I was like 14, 15 years old. I was just doing like very light weights and things like that, burpees, just any random.
Oh my God.
Yeah, random fitness classes, things like that. But I guess I didn't really pick up running and a proper strength program until later in life, even though like I'm still young. But I feel like there are just so many younger athletes these days who know what they're doing, and I wish that I was them. And I feel like
they start so young now, don't they?
Oh, like you see these top CrossFitters, these kids who are like clean and jerking 100+ kilos, and they're not even 14 or 15 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. I just wish I got into that when I was younger, but we're here now, and that's all that matters.
So what are some of the competitions you've competed in, mate?
So I've done like high rocks, which is a lot of running with different strength stations. That's something that's really big right now. Lots of Spartan races, so they're obstacle course races, your Tough Mudder type events. I've done 24-hour obstacle course races before as well. Ultra marathons. And then recently, like this year, I did a stint. So I went over to the US twice in the span of 8 weeks for 2 different comps. The first comp I was invited to was called Rally in the Valley. So it had a lot of running, strength work, but it also had tactical work. So we actually had Sig Sauer pistols, and we had to do runs and burpees plus, you know, shooting on the range. So that was really cool. And that was like my first proper competitive tactical event. And then I did Hybricon games, which was similar, but we had archery and running instead of firearm, but it was pretty intense. We had like a lot of different crazy events too, like tug of war, chasing someone in the mountains. So he like lit off a flare and we had to go find him at like 4:00 in the morning. So there was like a lot of crazy survival events in that at the Hybricon games, but it was really cool. And they were both in West Virginia as well, coincidentally. So yeah.
So what do you reckon changed you most out of all of those events? Like, what's the one thing that you've kind of gone, oh, I'm never going to be the same now that I've done that?
I'd say from going even from rally to Hybricon, there was just a big stepping stone. But I reckon Hybricon, which is what I just came back from, I truly had such a transformative experience there because it was 3 days of pretty much morning till evening of competition. There was so many events. I think we did 14 or 15 events. And I was so outside of my comfort zone, especially having not practiced archery or the other skill specific events. And there were a lot of times where I actually cried during that event, which is so unlike me. Like when I was a kid, I feel like I'd cry if, you know, things didn't go my way in tennis or something like that. But like being an adult and like being on the other side of the world, I didn't have my family with me. But I did have some good friends and stuff that I was lucky, especially my coach was there too. But I definitely feel like that was an event where I broke a lot of barriers and became so much more mentally stronger, which is why when I came back, I was like, I don't even know what's next for me because I feel like I've reached this high. But I think I do know what's next, which is tactical games. So, yeah.
Like you've been to Everest, now what?
Yeah, exactly.
So talk me through. So what does your body and your brain go through during those events? Like that sounds intense, mate.
Oh, definitely. Especially the last day was called Survival Day. So it was pretty much survival skills. So we started off pretty early in the morning, and obviously you're pretty tired after the previous 2 days and your body's sore, your mind's tired, like there's just a lot of fatigue. And our first event, basically, this guy called Hunter McIntyre, who is a top high rocks athlete, he lit off a flare and we were like in the middle of the bush and we had to go find him. And there were a lot of cliffs, crevices, steep inclines, lots of bush bashing. We had to find him as fast as we could, and we had a 20-minute time cap. And we were like not going on the trails. We were just making our own trails. So yeah, bush bashing. And it was pitch black. It was so scary. And I kind of lost the group because unfortunately they didn't really tell us that it didn't matter who saw him first. So we should have all stayed together. Yeah. So I didn't realize that. So I just kind of let my ego get aside and went, oh, I'm going to go and find him myself. Yeah. And then I ended up in the bush in the middle of just pitch black. Had no idea where I was. I felt like I was in a Slender Man game. And then I realized I was close to finding him, but I made a wrong turn. And then that was when the clock stopped. And then, that was sad. Everyone else kind of found him. So I got a big penalty.
Okay. Oh, bugger.
And
you were close to finding him.
Oh, so close, which is annoying because besides the flare, we had to find him through, so he would blow a horn. So it was like audio cues as well. And it was hard. And he told us after the event that the horn apparently froze because it was so cold. It was like 1 degree Celsius. So apparently like he was trying to heat it up and fix it because we only heard the horn a couple of times, and that's why I was so confused as well. I'm like, how am I really meant to find him if he's only blowing the horn every couple of, or not even every couple of minutes? Like I'd say every 5 minutes I'd hear it once. And he was like, yeah, the horn was frozen. So just
oh man, what keeps you going back to it though? Like that sounds incredible. A little part of me is like, oh my God, I would so love to do that. And another little part of me is like, are you joking?
Yeah.
It's 1 degree. Why on earth would you be running around in the middle of nowhere?
Well, the funny thing is like we didn't know what the events were for this competition until a week out of the comp. So I was in Tucson, Arizona with my coach, and we got to see what the events were. They were revealed to us the week before, and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, luckily there are some things that I kind of already had the skills and the fitness for, but things like archery, murder ball, wrestling, there were just some other little events that like I hadn't, wood chopping. I've never picked up an axe before. Like all these things, I was just
Wow.
I'm really going in blind, but I'm also really excited. Also scared, I'll be honest. Like there were a lot of times, even the first event, because we started with wood chopping. So you're starting with something you don't know how to do. And I didn't want to make a fool out of myself. But luckily they did give us some tips beforehand. And then I ended up being one of the only athletes or female athletes to chop the wood in time. So that was cool. Yeah. And then straight from that wood chop, we went into a 18K trail run. So it was really cool. So yeah, there was just like a lot of moments where I proved to myself that even though I hadn't done something before, if I just put in the effort and give it a good crack, I might be successful. And if I'm not successful, because there were some times that I weren't successful, it's okay. And at least it's a learning experience for next time. Because like after that event where we were chasing Hunter through the woods, we then had to start a fire. And unfortunately, my fire wasn't large enough and sustainable, so I didn't get marks or points for that. And that sucked to have like 2 events that didn't go my way in a row. And I definitely had a good cry. I was so tired. I went, I'm exhausted. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. But then I called my brother and he gave me a good chat, and he was like, hang on a minute, like you're on the other side of the world doing crazy things, like embrace it, enjoy it, and just try your best in the next events. Like you still have a whole day
awesome
left.
Brother.
Yeah. So it was really good to put that into perspective. But I guess what keeps me coming back is that I'll do an event and then it'll either be really good, I'll either place well, win prize money or something, or it won't go well. And then when it doesn't go well, I'm like, oh, I have to do it again or do something similar to prove to myself I can do it. Yeah. Or if it goes well, I go, okay, I can do that, but I can do it better. So it's just like that constant cycle of wanting to be better, wanting to learn. And I also feel like when you put yourself into tough situations, it allows you to overcome adversity when it hits you in life. So like at the moment, I'm choosing to do these hard things. And unfortunately, sometimes life hits you. You'll have like shit happen to you. People will die, whatever. And I can draw back on these events that I've done and go, you know, I've like survived this event. I've done this, done that. So I use that as, that sounding board for when shit hits the fan in life.
That is absolutely gold. That is that's your benchmark of survival, right? Like I've survived this, so I can survive that.
Exactly. And that's what I do. Like I had a lot of those moments in comp where I was struggling, and then I would remind myself of a previous competition where I went, you know, I could do that. Well, my heart rate's really high right now in this workout. I feel really uncomfortable. I want to drop back a little bit. Well, no, you know that you can keep pushing on because you've done this other workout that was really hard. So yeah, it's just, yeah.
So how important is it? And when I was watching your Insta feed, and I love it. Anyone hasn't followed Monique on Insta, your life isn't complete yet. I was watching you and you were in your car and you were talking about your heart rate and how you were monitoring your heart rate, and you could see that there was areas that you kind of slackened off. To me, I'm thinking that that's probably my peak performance is your slackening off. But how important is monitoring your heart rate during those events so that you know where you're at?
Yeah, so sometimes I pick and choose when I wear my heart rate monitor. I wear a chest strap because it's a little bit more accurate than the wristwatch, just going off that. But I usually wear my heart rate monitor training, so I know that if the training piece is mostly running is meant to be easy, then I can see that I'm actually running easy and I'm not just using my ego and, pushing too hard. And I just like to use it as data. So sometimes I'll do a run workout and then I'll do that workout again a few months later to retest. And even though my speed might not be super or that much faster, I can see that my heart rate is lower at the speed. So then I know that my fitness has improved because I'm not exerting as much energy. So I think it's just a good data point. I'm not too crazy with it, but I do wear it just for a little bit of data here and there.
It's good to kind of get that feedback as well. I'm a data freak. I love all that stuff. So, which is probably why when you were talking about that, I'm like, I need to ask her how important that data is for your training and your preparation sort of thing.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So how do you train for something that you don't know what you're going to be doing until a week out? Like, what does that look like in your brain?
Yeah, it's so funny. Well, I'm lucky I have my own coach. So even though I'm a coach, I have a coach, because if I did my own training, which I used to, I get so neurotic and like I overthink things. So it's nice to have someone else do it for me and take the stress out. So my coach, Ryan, makes sure that I have a lot of strength. That's like your base, because no matter what competition you're going to do, you need to be strong. Yeah. So I've got a base strength. I also have some level of running as well. So I'm running at least 3, sometimes 4 times a week. My mileage is not as high as other people. Some people think that I run like 80 Ks a week. I do not run 80 Ks a week. At the moment, I've been on super low mileage, like around 20, occasionally 30, but yeah, just very low mileage. And then I'm making sure I'm doing plyometrics to strengthen my tendons so that they are ready for anything. So if I'm out on the trails or I'm running on a surface that is not flat, or lifting weights off a surface that's not flat, whatever it is, my tendons are ready for that. Because there are a lot of times where your body is gonna, like, unfortunately, even like sitting up off of the couch or something, like, you might end up pulling something, but if you can prepare your body for that, then, it makes the recovery a little bit easier if you do pull something in your back or whatnot. So yeah, so they're the
resilience.
Exactly. That's what training's all about. So your body's able to adapt, and injuries happen as well. Sometimes you just get unlucky or whatnot, but the whole point of training is that you become more robust so that you can keep pushing through as you go along and as you recover. So yeah.
And so you talked about archery. Had you done any archery? Was it a crossbow? Was it a recurve? What sort of archery equipment were you given in the event?
It was a traditional bow.
Yep.
And it's funny because on our packing list, he wrote dental floss. So I thought he was going to make us build our own bows. But then we didn't end up using the dental floss. So, yeah. Okay. So I thought we were going to really go there, like really primitive. But no. It was traditional bow. And I have done some archery when I was a kid. I would go bow hunting with my dad. We had a compound bow.
Yep.
But I wasn't particularly like amazing at it. And I feel like compound bows are so different too, because like I used what's it called? That attachment which helps you pull back.
Yep.
Yeah, especially
I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, because my dad put the poundage up so high, or the resistance. So me as a kid found that very hard to keep up. But I wonder how I'd go now being stronger. Anyway, so it was only like, it was less than 5 meters away too, because they knew that most of us hadn't had that experience, and it was, the target was over a little ditch too. And so I hadn't had that much experience, and actually in preparation for that event, we had a little bit of time. I think it was like 10 minutes before our heats went off to practice. And every time I drew the bow up, my arrow kept coming out, and I hadn't even done anything. Like, I hadn't even gone up to my face yet. And I was getting so frustrated because I didn't have much time.
Yeah.
And I'm friends with some of the judges at the event, and they were like, oh, it's okay, deep breaths, you'll be fine. And I'm about to cry. In fact, I started crying. And then my coach came up to me and he's like, I don't care how you go in this event. He's like, you got to make sure that you shoot these 5 arrows. Doesn't matter where they go, just do it and run your heart out, because it was a bow-athlon. It was 5 shots with the bow. Then you had to run 400 meters through this crazy trail. So yeah, I was getting really frustrated and whatnot. But anyway, one of my competitors pulled me back and goes, do you realize that your fingers aren't actually, they're not squeezing the arrow at all? And I was like, oh. And then as soon as she told me that, it fixed it and I hit the target.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Women Who Hunt podcast, proudly supported by Brackenwear, Australian-made hunting apparel for real hunters who live and breathe the outdoors. You've probably seen me wearing my Brackenwear gear. It's tough, breathable, and built for Aussie conditions. Right now you can grab 15% off your next order at brackenwear.com.au. Just use the code GTA15 at checkout. Brackenwear, the endless pursuit. All right, let's get back to the show.
So
How good is that?
really just amazing. So now I feel a lot better about using a bow. And yeah, I survived the first heat. I think I won the first heat. And then the second heat, my legs just could not keep up with these chicks who are fast runners. But yeah, it was a good experience. And now I know that I can use a bow again.
So good. So good. And so we talked a little bit about another one that incorporated pistol shooting.
Yes, that was Rally in the Valley.
Yeah, yeah. How does that all work? What's that event like?
So these guys, so even for both events, Rally and Hybricon, everyone who runs the events, they're all current or ex-special forces, Navy, Army, Air Force, everything. Like, these guys know their stuff and they are so on top of training and making sure that everyone knew how to use the firearms properly. Because even though, like, it was funny because I was the only international athlete at Rally, and coming from Australia as well, you would think, oh, she's coming from Australia, they don't have guns. Like, that was kind of their first impression of me. But luckily I had done that pistol training in Queensland, because as soon as I picked up the SIG, I was hitting dead center. And then the guy's like, oh yeah, you can now shoot from 25 yards now. He's like, I want to see this. So yeah, I was like really comfortable and whatnot. But like I said, they made sure the day before that event, we all went to the range. We were all told to have our hearing protection, eye protection, and to not point the gun at anyone else. They said that we had a 180-degree rule. So if you went even just slightly around 180, they said someone's going to tackle you. Like, there's no messing around. But yeah, it was cool because most people surprisingly weren't very comfortable with it. Like, I could see people flinching as they were shooting, and just like not enjoying what they were doing. Whereas other people had done tactical games before, or they live in a state like Texas where they have a lot of firearms and they're super comfortable. So there was like people from all different backgrounds doing this. And so basically what this particular event was that we had to run 800 meters. So we ran 800 meters to our station, which had our pistol, and we had to do 10 burpees. So we did 10 burpees, and then we could pick up our pistol and we could take up to 12 rounds. But your 10 best were scored. Right, so how the scoring worked, I think it was IPSC scoring. Yeah, so if you missed a shot, you would add time. And if you got your shots in the A, B, C, D range, it was like -5, 10, 15 seconds. And I managed to hit mine pretty much all in that bullseye kind of range. Well done. I ended up getting the 4th I got fourth place, like purely just based on that skill, because I didn't even run that crazy fast. So after those shots, ran 800 meters and then the workout was done. So basically it was a mile run in total, 10 burpees, 10 shots. And we were shooting from 25 yards too. So pretty far away. We were using the SIG P360, I think it was, or P322. Yeah, it was pretty nice to use a 22, because I had trained a couple of days before at this range in West Virginia called Bare Arms, and they only had a Glock. And it was funny.
9 mil?
Yeah, and it was funny because it was like my first time ever using a Glock ever, and I was FaceTiming my dad to help me because like it jammed up, and my dad was like, my dad was teaching me how to like get rid of the jam, and then he was giving me drills and stuff, and how to get more comfortable with it, and the first thing when I picked it up, I was so surprised at how plasticky it was.
Yeah.
Like it legit just plastic. I went, it's like a Nerf gun.
So you were practicing on a 9 mil and then you got to shoot a 22.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice, better than the other way around, that's for sure.
Yeah, I didn't even really realize the difference until we were practicing with the 22, and there was just no kick on it. It was perfectly hitting where I needed it to go. The sights were so nice as well, and I just went, I want one of these.
So how much shooting had you done before that event?
So I'd done the pistol 3-hour course at the Brisbane Pistol Club, which was really cool. Like I highly recommend that to anyone. It's worth the travel, because you go through not just getting comfortable with the pistol from just standing, but it's very dynamic, and you do dry fire drills from like laying down, running to different places. I love that, and that's why I think I'm going to get more into that type of dynamic tactical sport, because I just love moving around and testing my abilities when my heart rate's really high or I'm really fatigued. So I did that, and then I didn't touch a pistol again until I got to West Virginia, and I went to the range twice before the training that we had at competition. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4 times I touched a pistol before the actual event.
Wow. And you're hooked.
Yes, I really need to get my pistol license. I need to join a pistol club here first, but I definitely, I think pistol is my favorite. But I did do paintball at Hybricon Games, and that was really cool because it was like it reminded me of my CZ 515. It was pretty much the same thing, but it was a paintball gun. So it's cool.
So you've done rifle as well?
Yes, that's where I started. I remember in 2022, my dad had gotten his, or he upgraded his license to hunting. So I went with him to the farm and just like observed him hunting. And I went, oh, this is kind of cool, but not really my thing. And then I saw the tactical game. So my phone must have been listening to me. And the tactical games came up and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do this. So then I told my dad, okay, I'm going to get my license now. So I got my license. Then like spending time with him on the range a lot. He's a really good trainer with my rifle, like teaching me how to snap shoot and things like that. So yeah, since 2022, I've had this goal of doing tactical games, and it hasn't quite happened yet, but I think next year is when I will finally do it. And it's gotten, the sport's gotten so much bigger. Like in 2022, no one knew what it was. Even my American friends, I'd say, oh, it's like CrossFit with guns. But now everyone knows what tactical games is, and Italy's got it now.
Oh, nice.
Poland has it too, so it's growing.
Yep, so good. And so when we talk about the tactical games, I'm just thinking there's such a contrast between, you know, you're doing your runs, your burpees and all of that sort of stuff. Like you go, and then you're behind the pistol and you've got to then calm and find your zen. Like how do you transition between those two almost polar opposite disciplines to get the result that you need.
Yeah, so it's definitely all about dry fire drills. Like that is going to get you to where you need to go, because you need to know, because that's the thing, like you're going to be so fatigued in these events because you may have just done a lot of heavy weights, you might have run, your heart rate is going to be high, your muscles are going to feel fatigued too. So you need to know your firearm, your rifle and your pistol to the best of your ability, and be able to, as soon as you pick it up, you can just point and shoot straight away. So dry fire drills are the perfect way to do that. And you could also do that at home. So if you had like a home gym, you could probably go into like a workout into your dry fire drills to test what it's like to be under that competition fatigue for a tactical games. And also just breathing exercises, because sometimes it's okay to not go straight on and pick up your pistol or your rifle. Maybe you just need a couple of seconds to breathe and then
your breath.
Exactly, and then go for it. The snap shooting drills that my dad's given me is really good, because as soon as I pick it up and I'm just pointing and shooting, I'll then put it down, or I'll lower it so that I'm not wasting my energy holding it up and trying to breathe. And as I'm breathing, I'm taking my pistol or my rifle off the target. Like, it's just better to have it down, you know, compose yourself, and then as soon as you bring it up, go for it, shoot, bring it down. So, yeah.
What surprised you the most about the skill transition that was required between those two, like high energy to then that focus? Like what was that like when you first started doing those drills?
Oh, it was tough, especially because when I first started, like when I got my firearms license, Dad was giving me drills where I was like doing burpees and then like picking up the rifle, and I wasn't super comfortable with the rifle, like under fatigue. So already when I was fresh, I wasn't amazing with the rifle. So then when you added the high heart rate, I was like, it just made it that extra bit harder. But now that I'm so much more comfortable, I know how guns operate from, you know, like the other day my dad made me pull apart his shotgun, so I like knew how it really worked. And like, so now that I know things, yes, from like that very technical level, I can then build it up to the performance, because I think it's important to really know your firearm from the inside out. Like, yes, it's easy to like, yes, point and shoot, but I think it's important to really know what you're doing and what you're using. So
strip it down, make sure you understand the mechanics behind it, and the engineering behind what happens when you when you slide the bolt in, pull the trigger, what's making all that do what it's supposed to do. Is such a good point. So what I'm just imagining your dad going, here's a rifle, but before you get to touch it, you need to do burpees. Like, what's going through your head? Like, are you like, Dad, do you hate me that much? What was that like for you?
I think it was squats, because like we were on the range, and like the range that we train at, I mean, I could do burpees there, but I feel like there was just so many people. But I could do squats and just like running on the spot, jumping jacks, things to get my heart rate up. But yeah, it's just such a good tool, because obviously in the range I can't bring a ski erg or a rower, a bike, or weights and stuff, unfortunately. But it's just the only way that I could train without restrictions. Whereas my American friends, they have their ranges with gyms, and they are so well equipped. Like, they can quite literally just train for the tactical games where they are, because there's less restrictions there. But yeah, it's just like making do with what you have. And plus my dad has military experience, so he knows, like, and he'll always give me military analogies no matter what I'm doing. Because like at Hybricon games, we had a farmer's carry in the mines, and my dad was telling me, imagine that you are in the battlefield and you are carrying a wounded soldier and you can't drop them. You have to run and people are shooting at you. So like he gives me these like very
So
like
he's painted the picture for you and you're like, okay, I'm immersed now.
yeah, exactly. And it's been good too, because like there'll be tough times, like when I did that farmers carry event where I wanted to drop the sandbag or I wanted to stop running, but I went, no, I can't do that because I have that visualization of me running through the battlefield. If I stop, someone's going to shoot me. So yeah, I think it's like helped a lot having that. And then all the people I've met in the US, they're all currently, or they're ex special forces, and learning from their experiences and things have helped me too.
It would be amazing to have that kind of in your back pocket when you are in those moments, that it'd be really easy to put the sandbag down or to stop running or whatever. That would be the easy option, but then having those stories at the ready to kind of play in your brain to go, no, I need to keep going, to give you that bit of extra kick to get you across the line.
Yeah, and even my dad, because he does a lot of hunting, he'll recap on his hunting expeditions and tell me that, like, you know, his arms are burning carrying his shotgun. And you need to have that strength and that endurance to hunt. Like, it's not an easy thing. And he learned a lot in the army with, you can't just like point and shoot. You have to be able to be dynamic and have the strength and endurance to do what you're doing. And even like when he's hunting, he's going from like standing to sitting or like squatting position, so his legs are burning. And he'll tell me how sore his legs are the next day after hunting. And like carrying a rifle is tough, like especially when you're moving through the bush and you're trying to hunt a pig or something. Like it's tough. So like fitness is a very big element of that.
Have you hunted with Dad?
No, I don't have my hunting license yet. I'm trying to edit the license. I've only got target shooting, but I have stalked with him. Just in case the police are listening, I've only watched him hunt. I haven't hunted. But yeah.
So you're getting your R license?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to get my H license for pistol too.
Yep, make it happen. Because it's definitely that fitness thing. And I read something the other day that was like, only a hunter will tell you that they walked for an entire day, saw absolutely nothing, and then came back telling you what an amazing day you had. I'm like, it is so true. Because fitness plays a massive big part in it. And I'm in the process of trying to get my fitness up, because you know, you stalk, you hunt, you do all of that for the day, you find the goat, the pig, the deer, whatever, you take the shot. That's the beginning. You've then got to field dress the thing, and then you've got to cart the thing back out. Like you need to be able to you need to be able to see the thing the whole way through without looking like you're about to go into cardiac arrest or something. So do you reckon that when you do get your R license and your hunting license and all that sort of stuff, that you reckon you will go out hunting with Dad?
Yeah, definitely. Like, especially the farm that we tend to go on holidays to. It's got a lot of vermin, and just animals that kill the farm animals, and like so many foxes.
So much destruction. It is. Yeah, it's the untold story, I think, of our Australian ecosystem. It's not until you've been out onto those properties and you've seen the foxes taking the day-old lambs, you've seen the wallows that the pigs have dug, and a baby calf's caught their leg in it, and then, you know, that the farmer's now got to euthanize that calf because, you know, it's got a broken leg. And, you know, it's those sorts of stories that don't get told, I think, about the preservation and about the ecology and the the assistance that hunters provide our food producers that don't get talked about enough.
Oh, exactly. Like my dad identifies as an eco hunter, because that's
Yep.
what he is. Like, he's protecting the farms, our ecosystems, and I know that there is like this push by certain governments that they want to only do poison, and the problem is with that is that you're then killing our wildlife that we're not,
Yeah,
that we're trying to
exactly.
protect. So,
Yeah.
having more skilled hunters in the arena is definitely going to help preserve our wildlife and just everything.
Boots on the ground, human eyes behind the rifle to know exactly what's being targeted. You can't do that with baits, unfortunately. And it only takes, unfortunately, what doesn't get thought about enough, I don't think, is all right, you've baited for pigs, but what's going to feed off that pig that's now got poison through its meat, and how's that going to affect that bird, or how's that going to affect that whatever. It's like the downstream stuff that doesn't get talked about or thought about when you're talking about the 1080 baiting. I know it's got its place, and I know that there's time and place that you do have to use that, but I think your ethical hunter is a far more I think is a better option, because there's a human making a decision rather than just putting bait out there and hoping for the best.
Yeah, and even I'm not super well educated on this one, but the mass aerial shootings that happen, sometimes like that you'll end up killing like another animal or something instead of the animals that you're going for. So I think really just going back to those grassroots of having those individuals on the ground, trained hunters, is probably like one of the better ways to go about hunting.
And the other thing that I quite like about the idea about having hunters on the ground is the more licensed hunters who are supposed to be in those areas, the less likely you're going to have people in there that aren't supposed to be there. Because we protect our license to the nth degree. We do everything we possibly can to make sure that we're doing everything in the right possible way. And the more of us around, it helps the ecosystem. It helps the farmers out, like a fence down, or a cow's about to go into calf and that sort of stuff. You can't see that from an aeroplane or from a helicopter. You can't see the damage and all of those sorts of things. So yeah, it does. It makes sense in my brain, and it's just about education, having the conversation so that people kind of go, oh, actually, yeah, right, okay. So that is, it's not just, you're not just out there blatting away doing whatever. You're actually out there helping the farmers with their property and with their livestock. Particularly if you're taking deer and goats, and then you get to fill your freezer at the same time. So everyone wins.
Yeah, exactly.
I quite often think about like the one bad day. I listened to Joel Salatin a little bit, who's the lunatic farmer from America, and he talks about his livestock having one bad day. And I think the food in my freezer didn't even have one bad day. It had one bad, 30 seconds when he was grazing on the hills, and then wasn't grazing on the hills anymore. Living his best life right up to the very end. And that's what hunting's about, I reckon.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't hunted for food, or I don't know if my dad has, but Yeah, he hasn't hunted for food. He's only just done like, the vermin control.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll like get the pigs, the foxes. The foxes are terrible. Like Dad was
Yes.
telling me that they're quite literally like serial killers in an
Yeah.
animal's body, because they'll kill all of the chickens in the pen just to take one.
Yep. For no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
And just leave them. Just leave them for nothing. The foxes are built completely different. Your dad's 100% right. They're built different, foxes. And they'll take a baby lamb and do nothing with it.
Thanks for listening to the Women Who Hunt podcast, proudly supported by Nature's Perks, the ultimate outdoor adventure hub. Nature's Perks helped us take our hunting to the next level, and they can do the same for you, helping you grow your skills and confidence in the great outdoors. Become a member today at naturesperks.com.au and unlock exclusive benefits, fortnightly prize draws, guided hunts, fishing charters, and special discounts. Nature's Perks, where the wild side of life rewards you. All right, let's get back to the show.
It's just insane. Like they're quite.
Yeah.
We need some criminologists to discover or research their psychology, because like what the hell?
What are they thinking? Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you first picked up a firearm, what surprised you most about the skill that was required to get on target?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say I can't remember if I first used the scope or the ions, because my first rifle is a CZ 515. But I guess the breathing aspect, because my dad says to shoot on the inhale, like when you're at the top of the inhale, and then take your shot, because then when you go like down or you just like keep breathing, then you're just going to be completely off. So yeah, that aspect. And also just using, or when I'm using a scope, sometimes you're going to have to adjust, fire and adjust, and you're not going to be perfect all the time, whether it's, different scope, you're using a different firearm, different ions. And I've learned that through my competitions, like even at Hybricon Games, when we had the paintball rifle, I couldn't use the ions because my mask was protruding so much. So it was literally fire and adjust the whole time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So you're having to reset every single time.
Yeah, or just like see where the bullet. That's what the guy said. He was like, just look where the bullets are going, and then you'll know where you're going. And I'm like, okay.
And what do you wish that people knew about the hybrid games and the firearms and all of that sort of stuff? Like, what do you wish that other ladies knew about the world that you're living in?
It's so fun and it's so rewarding. Like, you learn so much about yourself. You become a little bit more fearless, and firearms aren't that scary. Because I think even me, when I first started, or even when my dad tried to get me into firearms, I was like, oh, like, you have those different connotations and perceptions, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to touch this, like it could be dangerous, like, or what if I shoot myself, like it's like all these things. But if you have someone who can teach you how to use it safely, how to be a responsible owner or just a responsible athlete, whatever, then you're not really going to have any issues, to be honest. And just don't be an idiot. Like, like don't point it where you don't. Exactly. Treat it with respect, and don't point it where you don't want it to go. Like,
I quite liken it to a chippy learning how to use a nail gun for the first time. It's no different. It's just a tool. And sometimes nail guns can actually be more dangerous than a firearm. But with the right training, with the right practice, and with the right respect, it's there to get a job done.
Oh, 100%. And I think as well, because my dad tried to teach me from the technical level before I started. Like, he made me watch YouTube videos on like what the inside of a gun looks like and how it works. And I think that's what helped me expand my mind a little bit to it too, and I felt a little bit less scared. And then the other day when I pulled it apart, the B230, the Adler, we pulled it apart and built it back up again so we could clean it. That was really cool because that enhanced my knowledge and my education a little bit more, and I feel more comfortable. So if I ever have to pull it apart and clean it myself, then I know how to do it. And I know how to do it safely. And the biggest thing is like always making sure that you've either got it on safe, you know, when you're not using it, or that the mag's empty, there's nothing in the chamber, make sure you clear your weapon. And my dad bangs on about it all the time, and he's like, I'm constantly like, even when I'm taking it out of his safe, I'm checking if it's clear. Like it's become muscle memory for me, because you never know, like you could make a mistake or whatnot, but it's important to have those systems in place so that you don't have any issues in the future.
I love that. Have a system in place. Yeah. Because then you just, like you say, it's muscle memory. You know exactly what you need to be looking for. You know exactly what you need to be checking. And then you've done your checks, and, you know, it's just metal and synthetic, or it's metal and timber, whatever you're handling.
And there's nothing wrong in checking again. Because like there's this, my dad told me, I don't know if it was his friend or a friend of a friend, but he was an army photographer, and he would jump off of planes to take photos. And he had, on this particular day, he'd constantly like jumped off the plane, take the photos, put the parachute back on, and kept doing this cycle. And then he forgot to put his freaking parachute on his last jump, because he was in that like cycle of, you know, so that's why it's like, it's just never be afraid to check again, or check 20 times, because you'll get into that muscle memory sometimes, and it might be negative things. So yeah.
So does self-trust then play a part in, once you've built that muscle memory? What does self-trust look like for you?
Oh, see, and it's even hard, right? Because it could even be you're leaving your house and you think you've left the stove on or something, and you have to go back and check, or do you trust yourself that you did turn the stove off? Like, it's, just making sure, like, as long as you can visually see, and that's the other thing. So whenever I'm checking to see if there's nothing in the chamber, my eye is like literally, as I'm pulling back, I'm looking in the barrel or the chamber, that there is nothing there. And I'm even touching it with my finger. Like I've got the physical, the visual cues that there's nothing in there, making sure the mag's empty. And it's quite literally just those things. And like I know that there can be freak accidents. Like I have heard that a particular SIG pistol has been going off randomly in the military and has killed some people because it like randomly fires. But then again, it's like, why are you putting a loaded pistol on a counter and leaving it there unattended? So like, just don't
make
do that.
safe before it's unattended.
Exactly.
So if you were to teach a brand new female shooter one thing, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say obviously just the safety aspect of firearms, just learning how to be safe, because you'll feel safe in the process, and you'll feel a lot more confident in handling it. But something that I did when I was in the US, I actually taught this girl how to snap shoot. And I feel like that's a really good drill. So that's something else that I would teach a female shooter. The drill I was giving was because she told me that she bought this pistol so that when she goes trail running, she can defend herself. This is obviously, might not apply to Australians. But I taught her the snap shooting drill, which my dad taught me anyway, which it can still work for target shooters or whatnot. And it's just going straight from her holster. I said, as soon as you pull that pistol from your holster, you're going to go up and point and shoot at the target, and you're just going to practice that like constantly. So that's whether you're doing it with a rifle or a pistol, whatever, snap shooting, it's so good. And like
getting it from that holster, getting it from that position into the position that's comfortable for you, and then being able to get on target. That's a really cool drill, actually. I'm just playing that in my brain as you're talking.
Yeah, it was really cool too. And I surprised myself because I was like, I don't shoot for self-defense, but it's cool that I could pass a little bit of knowledge on to this girl, and hopefully she's got safe travels on her trails and whatnot. Because I was telling her as well, I said, because I saw her shooting on the range and she just had the pistol and she just kept shooting. And I went, okay, so like, why are you training? And she goes, because of trail running and self-defense. And I said, okay, so realistically, you're going to be running and you're not just going to have the gun out already when an animal or a predator, whatever it is, comes and attacks you. So you're going to have to learn that muscle memory of taking it out if you have a safety, taking the safety off and going for the shot straight away with no, hesitation. So yeah, she did the drills and I was like, I felt like a proud mum. So it was cool.
That's so cool. And talking about teaching and sharing and all of that sort of stuff, I can't not talk about your podcast. So it's Stride and Thrive, yeah?
Yes.
So why'd you create that? What's it about? When people tune in, what can they expect?
I just love talking. And I started it, I think, in 2023 because I just wanted to share my thoughts and opinions on like race recaps, actually. So I was like starting off with high rocks and race recaps and teaching people my mistakes and to learn from them. So that's been a big thing. And I haven't been like super consistent, but I have recently started being a little bit better and uploading at least every couple of weeks. Yeah. And I love having conversations with people. So I'm trying to get more people on the podcast because sometimes it can be lonely talking to yourself in a room.
Yep.
And yeah, I love bouncing back ideas with people. But yeah, really it's just about education, like from fitness, mindset, rants, things like that in that realm. So I do love it. And it's been really cool because like there are some people that I've chatted to that I didn't even really think about chatting to. And then I've just like learnt so much. So yeah.
What's some of the things you've learnt?
So I actually interviewed some athletes from Rally in the Valley. And it was really cool to learn, in particular, Wendy's life story and just that you can quite literally come from rock bottom and now she's a thriving mother who is also this incredible athlete and businesswoman. And it's just really cool to learn people's life experiences. I've also had my friend who's a dietitian and she's given nutrition and dietitian advice for athletes. And yeah, I feel like my world has expanded through this little podcast and hopefully it continues to expand as I keep doing it.
Pretty cool, hey?
Yeah.
And what do you hope that your listeners or your Instagram followers, what do you hope that they get from following your journey?
The biggest thing and the thing that I constantly remind myself about social media is like whether or not I make money or not, whatever it is that I post so that people can learn from my mistakes so that they don't have to make the same mistakes and they don't have to go through the same shit that I went through to get to where I am. Like whether it's
so good.
It could be anything, whether it's like a particular event, a sport, something in the gym or maybe not in the gym, whatever it is, I'm trying to like be the person who walked so that they can run.
Oh man, that's amazing. So talk to us about a time while we're talking about the lessons and learning through you. Has there been a time that you were completely rattled and then you were like, oh my God, I need to share this with my listeners about what that being rattled looked like and how you recovered from it? Is there something that stands out for you?
Definitely, I'd say in 2021, this was like during the second lockdown. I had a coach at the time who was like telling me that I needed, because I had goals back then to be like a pro Spartan racer, which is so funny because like these days no one would want to be a pro Spartan racer, but like I wanted to be like a pro Spartan racer and, you know, make my name in that sport. And this particular coach guide, he told me that I needed to lose all my muscle and just focus on running. And that completely threw me. Like, if you see my stuff back from 2021, and sometimes I post it on my stories, you can see like my body composition is so much more different because I don't have as much muscle. I lost so much strength. So coming out of the lockdown and going back to the gym, I was not able to even like RDL a 30-40 kilo barbell, going from like almost 100 kilos.
Wow.
And just like, yeah, it was a total mess. And I really wish that I never listened to him. But we learned from our mistakes, and I'm where I am now, which is really good, thank goodness. But yeah, I think it's just don't ever lose your strength in the pursuit of anything, to be honest. Like, even as you get older, you need to have strong bones, especially as females, because unfortunately we lose our bone density after age 30, and it just keeps declining every year, and our muscles too. So it's important to have strength in your program, even if it's once, twice a week, just so that your body's able to be resilient as you get older.
That's absolutely gold. So you don't want to be a Spartan athlete anymore. So what's on your vision board for the next 5 years?
Oh, I'll still compete in Spartan, but there's just like a lot of like, it's more so the international Spartan community is not as like crazy, but Australia, I love the Spartan people in Australia. I love them. They're like family. But I will do like a couple of local Spartan comps, but tactical games, definitely on my list. And if I can get invited to the Hybricon Games again next year, I would be absolutely stoked. I am doing a strongman competition actually next weekend, which I haven't told anyone about. So you got the exclusive here. I'm really excited. I was scared to sign up for it because a lot of the weights are quite out of my comfort zone, and I've never hit some of the weights before, but I went, you know what, why not try? So we got that, and then I have High Rocks Melbourne 2 weeks or 3 weeks after that, and then that will be the end of my year.
Did I see you dragging a car in something on your Instagram feed?
Yes. So at the start of the year, I've been doing a little bit of strongman like throughout my training this year, which has been really good, and it's changed my athletic abilities like crazy. And during one of the sessions, he got us to pull a car. So we had our harness on and we just, pulled the car with our body.
Absolutely incredible.
It was a big one. It was like it was a big ute. It was quite heavy. But
and you pulled it?
Yeah, I've done it a couple of times now. And every time I get better at it, because the key to doing it is once you get moving, don't stop moving. And also you want to stay low because that's where you're getting your leverage. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I love strongman.
So if someone's listening to this and they're like, all right, I want to start doing that, what's a practical first step that they can do this week to start those wheels turning, to keep them on the journey that you're on, or a similar one?
Definitely sign up to the gym or have a barbell and plates at home or whatever it is. Just set yourself up for success there. I would recommend getting a good PT, or you could also get in contact with someone who knows their stuff, aka me, cough cough. Because you want someone who kind of knows what your goals are and can work with you too, whether you're training at home, in a gym, know someone who can know where you're at, meet you where you're at, so that you can then get to where you want to be. But yeah, strength training is like number one. Even if you're using machines, just start building some sort of strength base, and that is going to pay dividends in the long run. So
there you go, ladies. Start with strength. Join a gym, or reach out to Monique. You're going to be busy, I think, mate. Do you have to is a routine important? Is a schedule important? What is that? What?
Yeah, I think it's interesting you say that, because I was thinking about this the other day. The best time to start a training program is when you are at your busiest, because if you wait and you're like, oh, I'll do it when I'm less busy, or I'm like blah, 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 then you're not going to find that routine that's actually sustainable for you. So right now is the best time to start, or whenever you're busy, because then you're actually going to find those gaps and actually build a bit of a routine that's going to work for you. And everyone's routine is going to be different, because everyone has different work lifestyles, children, etc. But just don't use the excuse of I'm too busy right now, I'm not going to start a routine. No, start it now. Even if you're getting to the gym once a week, that's okay. Just start something, and your sessions don't have to be even an hour long. You can get a lot done in 30 minutes or even less than that. You can even do stuff at home, like before you open the fridge, do 10 squats. Just start today.
Yes. So if people want to get in contact with you, how do they do that?
Definitely Instagram is the way to go, at Monique McCreanor. And I've also got a business page called Strong Runner Lifting Club. That's my coaching brand. I've got really cool merch. I'm really proud of the Strong Runner Lifting Club and all the athletes that I have. But yeah, those are the two main Instagram handles. I also have a YouTube channel as well. So if you search up Monique McCreanor, it'll come up. I've got a TikTok, but I don't really post on TikTok too much. But yeah, mostly Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah, this has been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for sharing your stories. It's like, I've just looked at the clock and it's like 4 minutes, 4 minutes after an hour, and I could just continue talking to you for forever, mate. And I know that there's going to be a lot of women out there, and guys as well, who are going to be like, do you know what? I feel like I can take the first step now after listening to your story, and just by taking that first step. So thanks for sharing, mate. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that the listeners have taken something away. I know I certainly have. If there's one piece of advice you would give to a listener right now, mate, what would it be?
Oh, I would say just don't give up on yourself. Like, whatever is going on in your life right now, whatever goals you have or whatnot, just literally just don't give up on yourself. Just keep fighting for what you want to achieve. And yeah.
So good. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And thank you to everybody, the Women Who Hunt community. I'm very, very truly humbled by the response that we're getting. So we do really appreciate all of your support. So as always, like, subscribe, follow, whatever we do in podcast land. Share it with a mate, and get behind these incredible ladies that are coming on and sharing their stories with you guys. Because the more we tell each other's stories, the louder our stories are told. So thanks, everyone, for listening, and thanks, Monique, for carving out time in your ridiculously busy schedule to come and say g'day. We do really appreciate it, mate.
Thank you so much for having me and for having this platform.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's nice to have somewhere that us ladies can come and listen to other women doing it our own way, I think.
100%.
All right, and we will see everybody in a fortnight's time for the next podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody.